Stock of the day, I thought we'd take a look at Boral. Boral has recommended shareholders reject Seven Group Holdings $6.50 a share off-market offer, saying that it is inadequate. In a bitter statement, Seven, which took the offer to Boral shareholders after market last night, said it would be satisfied if the deal ended up with it holding a 30% stake, but added it had to make an offer for the whole company due to creep provision regulation.
Yeah.
So Scott, what do you think of the takeover offer? If you're a Boral shareholder, should you accept Seven Group's offer, and or just sit pat?
Okay, so a couple of questions in there, Kosh. I'll do the last one first because it's easier. Should you accept the offer? No, because there's no need to. There's no risk in not doing it, and so frankly, there's no point. Just let time and further announcements tell their or take their course, and then decide what to do. So day one, don't do anything. Never do anything on day one. There's no need to. Second one, what I think of the takeover offer. Look, I think if you're a Boral shareholder, you're pretty happy. I think the shares are down on the back of, or have been down. So the earnings are down. And I think there is some sense that Kerry Stokes believes there's an opportunity here. Of course, owning 23% of the business, he wants the rest, and that makes some sense. Look, it's a great show of confidence in the company is the first thing. So if the takeover doesn't happen, you should feel pretty good as a shareholder that not only have you got Kerry Stokes on board, but he's also basically wanting to pony up more to take the rest of it off you. So you should feel pretty good about that. And of course, the board is supposed to say no. There is an unwritten but a very clear playbook for every director on the ASX. Whenever the first offer is made, you reject it out of hand no matter what. Because why would you take the first offer, like any good auction or any good sale process? You say no the first time, hope someone comes back with a better price and go from there. So This is all the usual dance, well scripted. Just give it a miss for now and wait to see what happens.
Would you get in as a new shareholder, or have you missed the boat?
I generally wouldn't, Koshi, particularly because if the deal, let's say it does go ahead and there is no further offer, your upside's pretty capped here. Now, if the deal doesn't go ahead, and the shares fall again, you think about the size of the upside versus the size of the downside, I'd be a little bit concerned. I don't think the upside is as clear. Certainly if you're doing it for the takeover, it just makes no sense to jump in now. There are better ways to do that. These things, you might make an easy 5, 10, 15% maybe, although the offer is $6.50 at the moment, so it's trading above that. But even if it was a little bit higher, let's say it was $7, maybe you make 40 cents. Maybe it doesn't go ahead to respect to $6. It's just not a game worth playing. The odds aren't in your favour, generally speaking.
I agree with most of that. I think the offer is actually pretty fair, and the reason it's fair is it's currently on Boral's currently on a PE of about 50, and the reason is the share price hasn't actually gone down to match the earnings decline. Right. So if you look at their earnings now, they're currently about 16 cents per share. They were 40 cents 3 years ago, and that's been the high. Yeah. So let's say they're going to get back to 40 again, then there's about, you could say, well, there's 3 times growth in earnings there, which would bring the PE down to about 15 or 6, or say 20, maybe a bit less than 20, 18 or 15, which is, I'd say, is pretty fair. Yeah. So he's paying for, I think, normalising the earnings. Okay. So I mean, I agree with, there's no panic to get out of it, but I definitely wouldn't buy it. Right. Boral's figures are actually pretty ordinary. They have been for years. Their return on equity is quite low. It hasn't been over 10 in a decade. Yeah. So it's a pretty mediocre company from a performance point of view. Right. So I'd be looking for getting out of it on the offer, or as it maybe it'll improve. Right. I wouldn't. It depends on whether someone else comes out of the woodwork, which who knows. Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's an interesting one, and the US division is the one that's been holding it back a bit over the years.